Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I just wanted to come in and run my mouth and talk about the after show. It wasn't a lot that happened. I'm going to say this. I thought it was absolutely whack that half of the first part of the after show was about the after show that appeared last season. Girl, what are we doing? Girl, it's one thing for us to have a conversation. Okay, girl, it's one thing for you to use it as a storyline towards the end of the season. But girl, y'all really having an after show about the after show from the past? Girl, what? I said, girl, what is going on? I'm looking at my TV. I'm like, girl, okay, when they gonna stop talking about the after show from the previous after show? Girl, I'm telling, I know it was at least. Well, how long was it? It was probably a 4 minutes of footage from, was that season 13? Yeah, season 13 after show. It was about, they used about 4 minutes of footage from season 13's after show to include in this season's after show. Marlo and Ralph, Drew said his name came up, and basically Drew is saying that when she reported back to Ralph, she just told Ralph that his name came up, and Marlo was throwing shade at what he did. Okay. Now, I will be honest. I can see how Drew could take that Marlo saying, I'm in technology like your husband. I mean, I do the same thing Ralph does, technology. I could see how someone could take that as somebody throwing shade or somebody trying to make it seem as though Ralph doesn't do what he does. Because does he do what he say he do? Yeah, we don't know. We still trying to figure out why Ralph and Drew had all those assistants at one point. Okay, hello somebody. Um, but yeah. So she said she basically told him that, and I don't know if that's all she told him, because sometimes a person can tell. It's also it depends on the delivery too. Because it's one thing, let me give you an example. It's one thing for me to call your phone and be like, hey, me and the girls are having a conversation, and me and Marlo got into it, and then she was saying something about, I do the same thing, I work in technology like Ralph does, and then she started saying something about, yeah, I do what Ralph does in technology, versus this, okay? Ring, 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 babe, what you doing? So I get into it with Marlo, and here she goes trying to throw shade at what you do. Talking about, I work in technology like Ralph does. Y'all do the same thing Ralph does. You see how it's the same words, but just the delivery is different. So I want to know, how did Drew deliver what happened between her and Marlo? Did she deliver it in a way where, girl, it was like, oh, this is what happened today? Or did she deliver it where, okay, girl, you trying to hype your man up, gas your man up, right? Marlo, I mean, I didn't think, again, I could see how somebody could take that as shady, but I wouldn't think that would be anything where you felt the need to run back and go tell your husband. Girl, that could have been something you handled. You see what I'm saying? Um, Kenya, shut up. This is the first time I said, Kenya, shut up. Kenya says that there was no reason for Marlo to attack Ralph. I want to ask Kenya a question. Kenya, did Ralph stand up for you last year when Ross cussed your ass out? Did any of the men have anything to say when Ross stood up and cursed you and Sheree out? Did anybody tell Ross there was no reason for you to attack Kenya? I hope they did and they just didn't show it. Other than that, Kenya, you need to shut up, just shut your mouth up. Just let that fight be between Marlo and Drew. She says the men getting involved, it'll never end well, which I kind of believe that. Because this is the truth. Even if the man is right, we may still find a reason why he's wrong. feel like I'm a little bit fair, especially if the man is not liked, right? Like some people tried to say that Todd, like when Marlo tried to say, I ain't gonna bring people into it. When Marlo tried to say Todd was wrong, I guess for addressing her, even though Marlo sat at that table and talked about Todd like a dog, and I said that I didn't think anything was wrong with Todd addressing Marlo. Hello, girl, we all went that whole gender stuff. Girl, y'all can talk to each other. Y'all, that's a grown man and a grown woman. Now I can see if it got to a point where, girl, you felt like, girl, your life was in danger, or girl, this man is getting a little too rah rah rah, then I can see you going to get your husband or your gay best friend or your boyfriend or your cousin. If it don't feel like it's about to get to that point, then girl, I feel like it's something that you can handle. We ain't never seen Todd just really cut up on a TV screen. We're not even gonna give him that. So it's no reason for Marlo to feel like Todd and her can't have a conversation. The same way she was able to walk up to Ralph, but Marlo be knowing what she be doing too, because she didn't have no issue walking up to Ralph having a grown woman, grown man conversation on the last episode. So there's no reason for her to think. I know I'm going back to last season. There's no reason to think that her and Todd couldn't have had the same conversation. Because if anything, out of the two, if we're gonna be honest, the one who looks like he might knock you upside your head is not Todd. But I'm gonna move on. Um, Sonya talks about her sister. Um, what it sounds like to me is because Sonya is the Olympic gold medalist, right? Her parents probably still look at her like, yes, that's my daughter, but she's also, girl, a four-time. What is it? Four-time gold Olympian. Is it four? Does she win 4 times? So I can see how her parents probably still treat her, and I can see how Sonya can still act like the kind of like, it's kind of like, girl, my mom and daddy hyped me up. So I can still have that. I can see how that could probably rub off, or still have Sonya running around like, girl, I'm that girl. You know, even though she needs to start kind of looking at her sister as just not like, girl, your sister got her own life. Your sister got kids now, and even if she didn't have kids or a husband, and she was a single woman, girl, she still has her own life, right? Um, and I think the sister is kind of just like, girl, I can't be your number one cheerleader anymore. I could be a cheerleader part time, but not full time. And I don't think Sonya realizes that, girl. That's what the sister wants. Um, and I can also see a little bit how it could probably be a little frustrating for you to be the sister who's moving in with the other sister, no tea, no shade, with your husband and kids, and that sister is a 4-time Olympic gold medalist, right? And your mother and father probably still wait on her hand and foot, and then you looking at them like, not to say jealousy. I don't want to use the word jealousy, but just a little, you know, what's another word for jealousy? Um, and then the whole situation with the girl. This is the thing. So this is what it sounds like to me. I'm I'm not saying Marlo is wrong for the fact that, like, girl, you really sending people recordings. Ugh, that's whack. But this is what it's some new information got out now. So it sounds like Drew was talking about Latoya, and Drew was calling her disgusting or something along those lines. Drew said she didn't say that. Drew said she was talking about how Toya smokes Black and Miles. I don't believe. I'm sorry. If can I'm sorry. I don't think y'all. First of all, y'all know I do not think Candy walks on water. But I don't think Candy will come out and say that you called Latoya disgusting if that's not what you said. So if Candy says you called her disgusting, I believe Candy. I believe that you called her disgusting, and you also talked about her smoking Black and Miles. Now you probably called her disgusting because she smokes Black and Miles, but you still called her disgusting nonetheless. And I think that what happened was when Marlo heard you going off on your rant about Toya, because she was already recording, because remember, people were already recording. right? The producers had told them because they was about to go home, basically. The camera crew was leaving. Hey, y'all record just in case some shit pop off. We'll just use y'all phone to show it on the show. So we know that's what happened, right? So Marlo had her phone up and was recording, right? And Drew was going off. And I guess because Drew says that her and Toya is supposed to be cool, Marlo then sent the footage to Toya to show Toya, you say this is supposed to be your home girl, but Miss Thing is wearing your ass low over here in Portugal. Okay? Girl, she done called your ass disgusting. Okay? But she said, but you said it's supposed to be your home girl. Now, what Marlo becomes shady and trifling to me is because I thought that Marlo and Drew were supposed to be cool. Or maybe this was around the time. Was this before? Or were Drew and Marlo fighting at this time? My stomach growling. Or were they fighting at this time? See, I can't remember. But nonetheless, I feel like, that's why Marlo sent the recording. I also understood Candy's point of view too. Candy's whole thing was, yes, she's cool with Toya, but she also didn't feel like that was anything that needed to be brought back to Toya. I understand that too. I really do. Because it's like, girl, that's my friend. I'm cool with Toya. I'm cool with Drew. I don't want to take back stuff to her that could it low key. I hate to say it, but it sounds mean to go tell your friend that somebody else called them disgusting. Girl, so and so called you disgusting. Like, that's a little harsh. You don't think so? That's a little harsh to me. Like, ooh. So I think Candy was looking at it like, girl, like that was so mean and below the belt. Like, I didn't want to take that back to my friend. Because the truth of the matter is, girl, Toya and Drew probably don't even fool with each other like that. They probably see each other at girl. They probably see each other when girl Candy invite them out and they bump into each other. But I don't think they probably cool like that. And then I think Drew was also calling Toya a liar and all types of stuff like that. That was pretty much it. Oh, Drew tried to make it seem as though, I guess, Marlo took what she said and chopped it up and tried to edit. I don't think that. I think that Marlo was dead wrong for sending record. I know they were recording for the show, but she sent that recording to someone. I thought that was wrong. Like, if Marlo just wanted to go back and be like, "Girl, I don't know if is there a difference between sending a recording and just being messy outright and telling the person?" I feel like it is. I feel like it just sounds grimy and slimy to say you recorded someone. I think I would feel okay. If Marlo just picked up the phone and called Toya and said, "Girl, I know you think Drew is your home girl, but Miss Thing was wearing your ass out last night." I think I would feel okay if Marlo did it that way. But because it's the recording, I think it's the recording thing that gets me caught up. Like, girl, you really record? I mean, I know y'all doing it for the show, but girl, you really are considering people recording this shit? Girl, I gotta watch what I say around you, honey. Girl. Then that's the thing. Like, Marlo is the type of person you really have to watch what you say because you know how she moves now. So if I was a part of the group, I would definitely be uncomfortable when it came down to us recording stuff. They would have to put it in our contracts that, girl, when we record after the camera crew leaves, you cannot send this footage to anybody else, bitch. Girl, what's wrong with you? If it's not being used for the show, you can't use it. Yes, I know we're using this for a show, but let it be shown on the show. Let you hand over the footage to the producers, and then the producers decide to use the footage. But you don't get to use the footage that was meant for this show to try and send it to somebody else to call. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's a difference, y'all. Maybe I'm sensitive. I don't know, child. Anyways, child, let me go ahead and try to find me something to eat. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, y'all.